how to do this. All right. So again, we're out in the middle of a prairie, and the idea of butterfly way station came up because, as you know, monarchs are declining population. We need more places for them to feed, breed, and eat, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the guys had read this and said, let's have a monarch way station. I said, well, maybe. Same guy, this Mike guy, says, John Kahre, this is a penitentiary. We don't do butterflies. And I said, okay, well, let's try it. And I really thought it was kind of silly, but we did. And the first year, I don't think we got one monarch. In fact, we got several, I think they call them viceroys. They look kind of like a monarch. And as soon as anything orange showed up, the guys were just like, they were just like children. They would run to me and say, we got a monarch, we got a monarch. And then I'd go out there and I'd just, finally, it got so bad, I'd go, yeah, we got a monarch. Because I didn't want to disappoint them anymore. But now we actually do have monarchs. And they do actually come in. And it's been amazing to see that they breed, their caterpillars eat our milkweed. And it's been a very successful time. In fact, I've got a little video, 1 minute video. When this is over, you can see what we're doing. Let's go to the next one. Up with Trees is, like I said, an organization that I've been a part of for a long time. And Up with Trees provides the plants, the pots, the soil for us to grow these trees as part of our nursery, part of our horticulture program. And that has been a neat partnership. And without hesitation, every year, in fact, here next week, I'm going to go pick up the material to do that. And you know, it's interesting. I've brought a lot of people out. I've brought senators, congressmen, I've brought friends, people from the church. Everybody that comes out has an idea of what they're going to see, and when they leave, they're ready to participate. And it's been they've been so generous, just so incredibly generous with our program, because almost everything we do with donated funds. All right, let's go to the next one. Gathering Place is one of the largest parks in America, city parks in America. Actually, it's not as big as Central Park, but part of the designers that work at Central Park helped design this. So some of the talent that works at Central Park helped design this park. So if you're ever in the area, this is the go-to place. It's one of those staycations now that they're trying to encourage everybody to go to, but it is really a remarkable park. Part of what we have been able to do is partner with the Gathering Place. In fact, this gentleman here is their director, and this is their head of horticulture. And we've grown out some ground covers for them. So that's been another, and there's a lot of pride that these guys have whenever they participate in things like that. And then they tell their families, you know, go down to the Gathering Place and see what we've done. And so they have, and it's been really neat. Let's go to the next one. In 1921, there was a horrible event. Tulsa had one of the most successful, they called it the Black Wall Street in America. Most successful economic area for blacks in America. And in 21, that was a difficult time. And there was an event that occurred which caused that community to be attacked. And I mean, they literally bombed it from the air. It's the only, I think until Pearl Harbor, it's the only community in America that was ever bombed from the air. Horrible. There's no way to make it right. But 100 years later, we had a commemorative, I wouldn't call it a celebration, a commemorative moment, and we grew trees from seedlings, from seeds, and we were able to provide 100 seedlings to give away at that event for 100 years. And again, it really built a lot of pride in the guys being able to still participate in the community, though they're behind bars. This is our compost bed, again, inmate made. And what's really cool is that gate swings open. We can get our front end loader in there and aerate that thing. So it's the only design. I had nothing to do with the design. It was weird. Right after I retired, I got extremely ill. I was out for a month or more. When I came back, this was built, and our shade house was built all by inmates. And I said, where in the world did you guys get the material to do that? And they said, don't ask questions, John Kahre, this is a penitentiary. And so I still don't know. I still don't know how it happened. Let's go to the next one. This is our hotbed. We're just now in the process of buying a commercial hotbed. This is another one of those things I heard about, I taught about. I said, this works, it's a great idea, and if you're a poor man, this is certainly the way to do it. It's the way my dad did it when he was on the farm in Kansas. But I really didn't believe it worked. And that's sad. But now we have grown crops. We've from seedlings, from seeds to finish, using a hotbed and a electric mat. And the biggest problem is it gets too hot. You've got to be able to open that thing up and cool it off during the day, otherwise you'll burn the plants up. This is just one of the guys, and you can see the attitude. This is what I get. I have never come to a group of students that at the end of the class, somebody's going to say thank you. Almost 40 years teaching on campus, those students didn't. Are you kidding me? They were just glad it was over. These guys are truly grateful. They prepare for class. Of course, they don't have anything else to do, but that's a pretty awesome opportunity. And from the time I show up, they make the coffee. They bring me coffee. They do my presentations for me. I mean, I got it easy. It's the easiest gig I've ever had in my life, and yet I'm the one that feels blessed. Let's go to the next one. This is one of our gardens. It's just stupid big gardens. Let's go to the next one. You can also see some of the grounds. You can see how the landscape of the area. This is our big garden, and it's twice that big now. They're really ambitious this year. They've got halitosis. It worries me. It worries me. But that's the big garden. Let's go on to the next one. These are some of our beds that we've done. And the next one. This is the last slide I've got, and then I've got a little video. We're just now starting turf management, and we've had donated to us the money to buy some equipment, and I do have an electric mower. I don't like electric. It doesn't have the power, so forth and so on, but it is going to be part of their future. It's going to be part of her future. It's not part of my future. I'm sorry, I have a classic car. I'm in a classic car club. I'm not doing electric. But they are. And so to prepare them for what they're going to see, we're getting some electric equipment. But we've got a sod cutter, a aerator, and then a little mower. We're also going to get a golf green mower. Now, I don't know if you've ever used one of those, but they're extremely expensive, and they're very fancy, yeah. So, and it's a real type mower, so it actually cuts the grass. We're going to really help them learn how to use that properly, because if they run rocks through it or something like that, it's a very bad day. So we'll learn a lot. All of us are going to learn a lot on that. Let's go to this next one is a video.
From our biggest cities to our smallest communities.
Did you hear that?
There is an invasion afoot.
To the back.
Butterflies.
There you go.
Yes, if you can see what we've got here, it truly is an oasis.
Milkweed and other nectar-producing plants, John Kahre hopes will be a magnet for the stunning monarch migration.
And I don't know how they can miss it. So we've got a great presentation on a dry prairie.
The buffet is set.
It is set, exactly.
What makes this butterfly garden so unique, it is right in the middle of an Oklahoma prison. When you think of prison, you don't normally think of beautiful flower gardens.
Right.
It's been several years ago when we first came up with the butterfly garden, but it's really been developed over the last 3 years of this.
With donations provided by Tulsa Garden Clubs, the incarcerated men have been learning landscape maintenance and design.
Their inspiration, their effort, and their result. We have people of all ages and all backgrounds working in this garden to make this the success it has been.
Horticulture certificate, landscape.
Dozens have even earned certificates and degrees from Tulsa Community College.
I'm in a negative place or a negative dark place, to just have some type of light or hope in me. That's everything.
The Monarchs will be fluttering from Canada to Mexico with a likely pit stop right here at Kahre Correctional Center. Thanks to the men's TLC, prison can be a little more colorful.
We are funded by the state, but we also, during the Trump administration, were able to get Pell Grants for our guys. And so the Secretary of Education actually came to our facility. I can't remember her name. It was interesting. So many people seemed to just couldn't stand her, but she was wonderful. She came and spoke to all the parents and spent time with the guys. But it's interesting, we had all of this Secret Service there with real guns. Now, nobody on that place has guns. Nobody. Well, the guard tower does and perimeter does, but nobody has guns. And boy, I tell you what, the staff was really uptight about these. And at that graduation, they had these guys posted about every 10 feet around the room. So it was rather uncomfortable. But our guys, God bless them, thought they should have some kind of weapon. So they've got paintball guns that shoot pepper spray. And these knuckleheads brought these, and I thought, oh, you embarrass me. They had their paintball guns while these other guys had, like submachine guns. It's like, okay, that's fine. It's cute. Let me show you some of the things that we make there, and then I'll open up for any questions. I know I'm probably running over. This is some of the stuff that this is a ceramic. This is an armadillo. Made this for a little one here while they lived in Texas. You guys probably don't do armadillos up here, and you're lucky. You can live a whole lifetime and not ever see one. We've also are doing horsehair pottery. Those are from my own horses, and the result has been just really well received. This is a picture that they did for Rebecca, horsehair pottery. Then we've done just molds and fired them so kids here at their church and at your elementary school here can paint. And so Rebecca's taken these both to your church, their church, and to the elementary school here in Grant, as well as a lot of these have gone to Bartlesville, to our church, and then also to an elementary school that we host. And you can see some of the other, here's one that, Annabella, how's it possible that I had that? And then I'll show you, if you'll hold this for just a second, sure. I'll show you one other thing that so this guy comes in like this, and he says, this is something that I make. I said, mufflers, that's cute. That's cute. And he goes, yeah, well, not really. He says, there it is, right there. And so these puppets, and we've done some of these. Every grandma wants one. So these are just amazing work that these guys are able to do. All right. And any questions? I know I've run over, and I apologize.
So you mentioned something about Pell Grants. I'm assuming that Mike didn't come out of prison with a big old student debt.
None. No debt at all. When Mike was there, all of that school was paid for by donations.
And are you guys, you said you're only working at this one prison. Is
Yes.
this program something that you're looking to expand to other prisons?
Not that I know of. I won't be. I've got all I can do here.
So, participation in this program helps inmates not only have something to do when they leave, but did you say it helps shorten the amount of time they're there
Yes.
as well?
Yes, it does both.
Okay.
It does both. Which, you know, helps motivate them to get off the rack.
Yeah.
If they don't get off the rack, they're coming back. I mean, it's just all there is to it. I can go out there after these many years being there, and I can point out the ones that'll be back, and the majority will come back. Our guys, we got about a 4% return on. 4% return rate.
You say 4%?
About 4% of ours have returned. Whereas in it's about 40 some odd. Those just with the state corrections.
And maybe you already mentioned this about how many inmates could participate versus how many are actually do, or what's
We have a waiting list.
Oh, okay.
I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but we do have a waiting list. And we look at time that they have left. We look at their behavior. Of course, any behavior problems are out. So it does encourage them to toe the line, and they do. We have very few that get kicked out.
How big did you say the facility is as far as the
The
population?
whole population for Connors Correction is 1,250 plus or minus, and we serve them all. I mean, we have classes on both sides.
Sure.
But we will graduate maybe 80 a year, so that means we've got about 140 maybe in the program, so not near enough, but we're about maxed out.
How big is the whole garden area?
It's probably over a half an acre.
Can you go bigger?
Yeah, we could.
There's room?
We could. That's about all our little greenhouse will manage, and so I think we're about there.
Yep.
How many of these people have seen gardening or participated in gardening before?
Most of them zero.
Zero.
A lot of them have never done any gardening, and that's amazing. You make some assumptions about where we're at, particularly in your community. Almost everybody has an agriculture background. Most of these kids are urban or have been urban with no experience at all, particularly the younger ones. Some of the older ones have had some, but most of the younger ones, none.
I assume most of what these people are in for are non-violent crimes?
Most all of them are violent. I prefer working with violent because it gives you enough time with them to get through a program. Non-violent are in and out. Most of the non-violent never come see you because they're going to sit out until they're going to sit on the rack until they do their 2-3 years and then come back. And that's a fact. I would have never thought I'd say that, but I by far prefer to work with violent because you've got a chance to make a difference in their life. You've got time. Non-violent, it's a joke.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Is all of it used either as food or?
Yeah, it's all used there.
Is there cash that goes back into the program or
No
just
cash.
all volunteer or
Or
gets
donation.
used as the facility?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
And unfortunately, none of the medium guys get it. It's all used up within that 200 population on the minimum side.
Really? Wow.
And we don't make a dent really in the food needed to serve that
Wow.
population. It's amazing the amount of food they run through there.
Okay.
Anything else? Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank
Ted,
you.
Thank you.